So I mentioned that earlier. I classified it as massive MIMO, but really it's called FD-MIMO, or full dimensional MIMO. And this was actually a 3GPP release 12 study item that Samsung's been working on a while, and they contacted us about building some prototypes, and we've worked collaboratively for about a year now, I believe. I think it's about a year, a little over a year. And what they want to do, they want to prototype LTE. They wanted to start with LTE having UE emulators connected to their eNote B with 32 to 64 antennas. And they wanted to assess the performance for the 3GPP study item. And not surprising, it was very difficult to find off-the-shelf equipment that could do everything that they needed. They had some customization because FD-MIMO is new, it's a new concept. And with the NI platform, they were able to do it. Specifically, the USRP Rio, LabVIEW communications, and what I'd like to emphasize also is the LabVIEW communications, these application frameworks. Samsung was actually, I guess we can talk about it now. Samsung was actually the lead user that helped us define the LTE application framework. And so at NI Week this year, we're also announcing an update to the LTE application framework, and a lot of that work was actually driven by Samsung.
Are there any other partnerships that you want to talk about?
Well, we also, at NI Week, we also showed our work with Nokia, a demonstration of 10 gigabits a second using 73 gigahertz of spectrum, RF spectrum. That was, that effort has been ongoing. Last year at NI Week, we talked about 1 gigahertz in the E band, which is 71 to 76. This year we talked about 2 gigahertz, and so you can see the progress we've made in just 1 year. We've gone from 2.3 gigabits a second to 10 gigabits a second in really a very, very short time. And what's interesting about this is Samsung didn't have, or excuse me, Nokia didn't have to rewrite everything from scratch. They started from the initial prototype that we did last year, and then they were just able to extend it, and they had a high amount of reuse. You can't build a system like that unless you have a high amount of reuse, both in hardware and software. And so they're pretty happy. And in terms of the the 5G research vectors and who's winning, I think that both Samsung and Nokia are in pretty strong position because they're actually actively demonstrating these 5G technologies that may or may not appear in the standard, but well ahead of some of their competition, I believe.
And I mean, it seems like partnerships are essential to this. What's the importance of those partnerships?
Well, that's a great observation, and I think partnerships. Different companies have different expertises, and some companies are experts in millimeter wave or LTE, or you pick a technology. It's very difficult to be an expert in all aspects of the communication system. So partnering makes sense. And then where NI comes in is that NI is actually a natural partner. We don't really have a vested interest in what 5G technology wins. I mean, we want to work with everybody. We want to build the best set of tools and technologies for researchers to be able to take their ideas to prototypes faster. So I think partnerships are essential in the industry in general. Partnerships enable companies to leverage their collective strengths to build something better, and then NI in general is just, I think, a natural partner for doing this type of research.